Election turnout statewide is at a whopping 16%. Even worse in Denver, 11% of eligible voters in the city have turned in their ballot. And turnout that low means anything could happen. The city of Denver is already taking an issue that people are voting on to court, going to court before it potentially passes. Politics guy Marshall Zellinger explains the issues with Ballot Issue 303, enforcement of the city's homeless camping ban.
When and how Denver enforces illegal camping is the focus of Ballot Issue 303, and the reason the city is already challenging the legality of it in a Denver courtroom.
By forcing the city's hand, Initiative 303 is an unconstitutional overreach.
A yes vote on 303 means Denver would have 3 days to enforce a camping complaint. Anyone can sue the city if there is not enforcement within 3 days. A yes vote allows for private citizens to enforce the camping ban. And oh yeah, it creates 4 locations to camp legally, known as safe outdoor spaces. A no vote does not force any enforcement changes, which, by the way, because of a federal court order, Denver has to provide 7 days notice before clearing an encampment. So how does that mesh with the 3 days Ballot Issue 303 calls for?
What the initiative itself says is you have to take enforcement action within 72 hours. It doesn't say, you must send your police officers in to clear an encampment and arrest people or throw away their property. It says enforcement action. And enforcement action can be a notice.
Suzanne Taheri represents Garrett Flicker, the head of Denver's Republican Party, who got 303 put on the ballot. She argued 303 does not force how Denver enforces the camping ban.
It doesn't tell them how to take action. It doesn't tell them the kind of enforcement they have to do.
The city attorney wants a judge to, at the very least, invalidate the 3-day enforcement requirement. And the city wants that decision even before we know if 303 passes on Tuesday. But this issue was approved for the ballot in late July. It's almost November. Why didn't the city challenge this before you started voting on it?
There are numerous problems with Initiative 303. Those were researched. We've cited dozens of cases in our pleadings. I know you would like to think of this as a very simple legal question, but it really is not.
In Denver, there are 13 ballot issues. Maybe that's why only 11% have voted so far. 5 of them, including Ballot Issue 303, were put on by citizens collecting signatures. And so the city attorney told me her office had to review all of those for legality issues, and that's another reason this is happening now instead of before ballots went out. The judge said he would probably rule by Halloween, Sunday, on if any part of 303 should be nullified, even though some people have already voted on it, Kyle.
Marshall, there's a part of 303 that reminds me of something that popped up in Texas's recent abortion ban, kind of like a vigilante provision that allows citizens to get involved in the enforcement of the law if they don't think that Denver's sweeping homeless camps quickly enough.
The judge asked some of this criteria about who can complain and then who could sue the city if a complaint isn't followed up on. And in court, they said, well, the intent is for the person who complained to sue if 3 days go by and nothing happens. But that's not what it says in the ballot. It says any person can sue. And there's the part about private enforcement. So that means if someone complains and 3 days go by and you know that complaint had happened, does that mean I can suddenly go up and be like, time to move out now? I'm pushing. Like, there's so much that's going to end up in court even after this, if it passes. If it doesn't pass, this is probably all moot. But if it passes, there's more court to be had.
Private enforcement could be wild. We were embarrassed last night because neither of us had voted. I voted today. How about you?
Not yet. I told you, it's a prop. I need it as a prop.
11% have voted, Marshall.
I will be voting.
Shame. All right.
Guaranteed.
Thank you, sir.